scoundrels who would use the Charmony Festival that I have bequeathed to the masses as a tool to realize their ambition.
Indeed, Dream Master. Once the Charmony Festival begins...
This is indeed surprising to me. Do you have...
I'd like to ask... If I have offended, the Astral Express extends its sincere apologies.
Dream Master, it's just to prove that the Charmony Festival has nothing to do...
Sunday, Robin. I've watched you two grow up. The magnitude of this matter is enormous and cannot be taken lightly. Since Miss Sunday, might I ask you to beseech them to cast their light unto...
I will do as you...
Robin, could I entrust you to be present as a...
I will do as you...
May thy will be...
Oh, triple-faced soul. Please sear...
Let us begin.
Understood? Question. Have you devoted your life?
Naturally.
Do you love your God as you do your son?
Naturally.
Have you strayed from the path?
Never.
Have you ever been inordinate with your app?
Never.
Then, a fight. Do you swear to fulfill all vows, past, present, and future?
With the Eon as my witness, if I do...
They have seen your...
Just a moment.
What?
I have another question. To my understanding, the family's harmony and the god you both mentioned.
Mr. Yang should know that those belonging to the family toil together as if they were kin, embracing solidarity and unity under their light. All duplicity is laid bare before the harmony. Such a delicate and complex symphony.
Perfectly harmonized. Therein lies the problem. It isn't an outsider lurking in the shadows who changed the harmony, but in the distant past, there existed an Eon. With one flick of the wrist, they crafted the laws. Later, they fell. The route traversed by this Eon clashed with the harmony. Though an Eon may perish, paths with no masters still linger.
Mr. Yang, being overly astute can be a detriment. For the sake of our grand cause...
What?
Sorry, Robin. It's just you.
So, this is the true reason...
We were never children of the harmony. Our ideal paradise, within the foundation of law and through harmony.
Unbelievable. To think...
What have you done with Mr.
Don't worry.
You should know that these actions...
Should we need to stand against the Nameless, it would only your efforts for the justice of Penacony. Smart kid.
If it is the order that drove you to imprison Welt and Robin, and you're using them to coerce our compliance...
You're mistaken, Miss Himiko. They are in very safe hands. Penacony and the entire universe have witnessed far too much innocent bloodshed. Natural selection. The world abides by this principle, establishing the well-being of humanity.
So you've decided to resurrect a dead Eon?
If Miss Himiko is interested, let's draw back the veil. I'm willing to divulge the unembellished truth as to the intentions of the Order's Pathstriders. So, come with me, everyone.
Huh? Where'd he go?
Welcome. This isn't any location in Penacony's dreamscape. It's my...
Did you do the same to Welt?
It's a tuning process. Stronger in effect and more tuning allows you to intuitively grasp my feelings. Now, everyone, please look. From this point on, you will witness, I believe after going through similar... Let's begin. This story happened when Robin and I were very young. We were victims of the Stellaron disaster, and the fact later on. Robin and I lived a time with nary a care in the world. That baby bird was tiny. It didn't even have all of its feathers, and it couldn't sing. We decided to build a nest for it right there and then. However, thinking back, it was clear that if we left the fledgling in the yard, it stood no chance. We decided that when it regained its strength enough to spread its wings, its destiny was determined. Now, I pass the power of choice. Stick to the original plan, and build a nest with soft net where the Charmony dove fed, or build a cage for it, and feed it. I eagerly await your answer.
It looks like he really has no intention of him. Back to the question. I would... no special reason. I do think that a fledgling should have the right to fly into the sky.
That guy just casually throws this kind of... If it were me. After all, leaving it there...
his intentions, right? Even if I was gonna release it back into the sky, it'd have to be strong enough to...
I'm happy to see that you made a choice similar to ours. We passionately nursed it back to health, preparing only the best food for it every day. I watched it for a long while by the window, probably about 3 or... Finally, on the 137th attempt, it succeeded. The fall shattered its wings. It writhed helplessly, and I deeply regret the choices we made. This story happened when I was appointed as Bronze Melodia, a position exclusive to the Oak family, charged with listening to the... It was during that period that I had the opportunity to hear voices from all corners of the dreamscape. He was a dream chaser and an illegal stowaway. Just like the rest, he told me. I sold everything I could at home. He had a plan in place. He would buy back his children once he had made his fortune. After hearing the Dream Chaser's story, I immediately appealed to the Bloodhound family to cease their pursuit. I'll tell you the outcome soon. For now, will you do as I did and try to convince the Bloodhound family to stop their pursuit, or will you remain silent, leaving him to languish while I look forward to everyone's decisions.
Dream Chaser story. If I acted, but what cruel repercussion would this choice result in?
I'm honored to witness you arriving at the same decision. Out of first, the outcome. He attained major success. After avoiding now then, did he realize the wish he set out to achieve? He told me the reason he was in this predicament was because he conspired to usurp the head. In the end, my heart aligned with the harmony, and the good deed I dared to undertake held. As to your choice, I once again in the story this time. This story happened the day I was appointed the Oak family head. What surprised me was that the Dream Master had only come to deliver a letter to me. The letter contained the usual pleasantries, anecdotes from her travels. Nothing else.
Do you know?
My sister, of course.
But to help you grasp the false...
From what the letter indicates, she must be
Correct.
a stray...
A war has broken out on that planet. It is because of this very reason she hoped to ease the people's suffering with song, and was willing to brave mortal death.
Is she alright?
If the operation was successful, by the eon above, the bullet struck her neck directly. Yet
Those damned savages! Now you understand why she always wears such a...
How could this happen?
It's all in the past, so please don't worry. I share this in the meager hope. Likewise, I've prepared one last question, because this is merely a figment of imagination. A nightmare that is... Would you still support Robin's...
I often feel like I've dreamt of similar scenes on certain nights. Their confusion and fear are lucid to me. If Mr. Sun with each trailblaze, dangers and tribulations will surely follow.
I am now aware of everyone's stand. Raising these questions merely serves to illustrate one point. The plight of Penacony cannot be salvaged by the harmony. The true foundation for a sweet dream paradise. I know the suffering of being tormented, the turmoil of losing your way, how sorrow and even despair set in when matters don't work out. All of this causes me unending pain. We must teach the weak how to live a happy life. And this life isn't some noble propriety.
So what is your definition of...
Good question. Human consciousness is fundamentally an illusion. When one mistake after the next permeates the masses, they become impossible to trace. Thus, the amassing of these individual cages, nature is always accompanied by predation and sacrifice. Its antithesis, that is what I want to do. Unite people's happiness under the banner of order. They won't need to make bitter choices any longer, nor... Simply describing thoughts is far too abstract. So allow me to provide a simple example. During these hard-earned rest days, people are given the and it is only on these days that people do not have to adhere to the law or the strong. From where I stand, society's ideal system should be 7 rest days. Following Sunday, there should ensue a second, a third, and indeed an infinite percent. And thus, every person can return to their base selves in this utopia. Some gaze in reverence at the stars. There would be no need to bear the hardships of reality. Only in this way, Miss Firefly, you who are stricken with entropy loss syndrome.
It sounds...
But...
The cost is minute, merely a personal and eternal sacrifice. If this paradise is to be maintained forever.
Awakening. Which means that this so-called paradise is still a dream. Stepping into this paradise means forsaking reality, correct?
It is not forsaking, but transcending. Flesh, blood, sorrow, weakness. If the physical is the root of spiritual suffering.
But in this supposed bliss, people won't have defeated their demons. The chance to overcome their tribulations would be forever lost to them. In other words...
That's another way of understanding it. But there is no shame in escape. On the contrary, don't you agree, Miss Firefly? And as to why, But this is not in conflict with the grand plan. Only in acknowledging this can we truly...
I admit that you are a born leader. But unlike you, I live for the self. From my perspective, individuals making choice, the want to escape may be innate in the weak. But whether they are weak, perhaps in your mind. Because I don't.
Since Miss Firefly has said her piece, the Astral Express will also We'll leave it to you. Just as Mr. McHalen's...
What is the...
Does this place ring any... It's the realm within a dream bubble. This was left to the Astral Express. Dr. Edward from the Dreamscape sales store told me that dreams, so I thought you might be able to help us in unraveling...
I don't know.
I'm counting on you then.
Himiko, I still don't get it.
I wasn't sure. It was just a hunch. But since... Exactly. This is where you and Firefly encountered death, which we now know is... The question now is, who brought you here? Based on we're drawing closer to the truth once more. Let's give me...
All right, but there are...
I guess... I'm not entirely sure, but... Let's give it a try.
Wait, you managed to choose the right door?
Weird. This place, if I remember correctly, there should be a... And the room on the other side was... the toy room. Hold on.
This could be a case of amnesia. Don't worry, Misha. It's common for everyone to forget. Since this place seems familiar to you...
Yeah, then let... Tick-tock. 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 Tick-tock.
Mikhail, that's the... So, who is he talking?
I'm sorry. I don't...
Anything special?
Mikhail?
Grandpa?
But we haven't heard anything about the watchmaker having... Could you tell us more about your grandpa?
Yeah, sure. He was a seafarer who fearlessly ventured into mysterious seas and... He didn't want me to call him Grandpa because that would make him sound old. He believed he was every time he came back, he'd share his logbook with me and tell me...
It appears that the seafarer has... So, where is your
He went off on a new journey. So, where has Clocky gone? Did he leave to protect Dreamville? I heard some noise.
You and
Yeah. It's a member of the Compass crew. Just like Clocky and Mick, they follow Miss Mirror's orders and handle all sorts of jobs.
sailors?
Could you tell us more about the
The Compass is a ship bound for the New World. Clocky and his partners travel through layers of fog to the...
That's a great story. But in the panic...
Huh? Weird.
Perhaps Clocky.
I think... I hear the sound of water.
You once mentioned there's a magnificent fountain up ahead. Look, there it is!
The water resembles a precious jewel. Every time I gaze at the shimmering lights beneath...
Have you recalled anything?
Yeah. I saw these sentences in Grandpa's logbook. He often said that those moments felt like returning to his family.
Hey, don't tease!
Perhaps every adventurer far from home carries a fountain within their soul.
Yeah. While Grandpa was at home, we would stand by the fountain back then. I would ask him when I could go on adventures like him, and he would
It seems this Mikhail is truly a seafarer.
Yeah, based on Misha's recollection.
But this raises more questions. According to Misha, he was clearly... Could this be...
I'm sorry. I don't... Perhaps I'll remember... I wish to share your burden.
We're going to the opposite side, right?
No. We should turn left here.
Huh? Something feels different about this place.
Up ahead is... Grandpa's study. It was in that...
The atmosphere in this...
Misha! You finally come!
Clocky! You're here!
Are those books on the bookshelf logbooks left behind by that seafarer?
Yeah. Whenever he came back, he described our world as a fountain. At some to ensure that everyone had land to settle on. On that day, he called me to his study. I asked him if I could go with him, but he's...
What sound?
He told me about a vast ocean in the sky. An ocean of... He said that he knew the crew on the
A train?
It's the Astral Express. Then, he gave his pocket watch to me. It was his cherished treasure, he said. As long as I kept moving forward, the distant sound of a train...
Exactly, Misha!
Yeah.
This is the dream jigsaw, right? So we're
Do you remember? You said you obtained a
Hey, the shape seems...
Looks like we're just one step from revealing the truth.
This is it. While I spent my time waiting for Grandpa to return from his walk here, I learned how to repair clockwork and gears. Out of my fondness for
So, this...
Yes, but this dream...
Wait. Why does it feel like everyone else...
Marge, do you remember when she mentioned the clock?
Yeah, the little guy here, right? But we all saw him in...
Looks like everyone on the Astral Express...
The answer lies in the Astral Express. And when we were in Dreamflux Reef, you may have noticed that first... A mimetic life that can only be seen by a select few.
But Misha can see Clocky too, right? They even grew up together.
That's the key to the mystery, Mark. Have you ever seen anyone outside of the...
Wait.
That's the answer, March 7th. This dream bubble. I should have stayed here and waited for you. But when reality and memories merge...
So it's not that the watchmaker's dream bubble is empty, and the whistle you heard was the sound...
That's one way to see it, but I believe there's a... How about we start with your name?
Thank you all for helping me rediscover my true self. I was born on Lushaka, in the Presmere system. Adopted by seafarers Mikhail and Char. Mikhail, Char, Legwork. Or, if you prefer, you can call me by a more familiar name.
So...
Unfortunately, that legendary... As for the child who has been with you, he's the innocent protagonist. And this also...
At the end of the journey, I left this little flame.
However,
However, he somehow left the dream bubble and forgot all about his task. I apologize for all...
Because he was I don't think Misha has forgotten his role as a guide. He remembered it. And the one who brought our unconscious friend here must have been Misha. If that's...
Well, I have a sarcastic friend who says I always take big detours and end up back where I started. Perhaps that's what... But in the end, you found me. I'm sure you're all wondering what my... If I may apologize, the Stellaron part is real. As for my wealth, however, it's nothing more than a baseless rumor. I left my homeland as a child and embarked on the journey of Trailblaze. I traveled to I've been moving forward all my life, doing what I could to overcome. So, if you ask what's left within this worn-out train engine, now that you're well aware of the current situation of Penacony, I certainly hope that you'll help me get this world back on track. But I'll leave that decision to you. For the all I have for you is a story and two gifts. I want to give you my pocket watch. It has accompanied me throughout my long journey. And my hat, too. The one who navigated. Now, it's time for you to make your choice. Once you've made up your mind, open that door. I'll be waiting for you at the end of this corridor of time.
All right, everyone. Although I don't think anyone will have any.
Of course. We've come this far.
In that case, it's then let's proceed together to the end of the...
Mikhail, where are you?
Someone has to step up and save Lushaka.
Please don't go. And if you must...
Even without me, you know how to proceed forward, brave Captain Misha. Now go! Board that...
Where are you going,
I'm going to clean the floor in the parlor.
Wait, first tell me, did you...
Yeah.
I know what it looked like before. Its chain was broken, the back...
Well, it's the hands, Mr. Amundsen. Its hands were intact and pointing in the right direction.
I see. You'll work with me from now on. Haven't you always...
But I only know how to...
Don't worry. You've got it.
Where are you going, legwork? I see. The people of Astana have only achieved a tiny victory. And don't worry. Not all journeys lead to the stars. Yeah. I knew you would. This is... Mr. When he departed, he's... Farewell, legwork. Don't worry, Micah. Just someone has to be at the forefront of the interstellar frontier, and I'm the only former nameless in Penacony. So why can't...
Because you're all we have! Have you forgotten about Tiernan?
But what will happen to Penacony? Tiernan. How could I ever forget him? I've spent countless sleep... We nameless won't stop. Don't worry, Micah. It's just if I don't come back in one piece.
Where are you going?
Oh.
Answer my question.
Relax, Gallagher.
Oh, come on! Aren't all your ideas just ways to get you... If you die too,
Yes. I'm afraid there's no way out in Pen... We'll organize a festival using the Watchmaker's legacy as a facade.
So...
Desperate. Don't we have you here, my friend? This time, make sure to send an invitation.
Misha!
Oh. Last night, I had a long...
Write it down?
Oh. So I...
Of course! You told me that when you were a kid...
Yes, but when I was a kid, and there was always a special pocket watch. I wanted to have a pocket.
Yeah.
But you know what?
It wasn't. It was. So, you and the watchmaker.
We've arrived at Dreamflux Reef. So, where to next?
You know, Clocky, I don't think I'll be going anywhere else. I've traveled far enough, and it's time. No, I'll stay here. And then...
This is... where it ends? You told me.
Yeah, that's what I said. So now, it's up to you to decide your next destination.
My next destination? What's that supposed to be? I've been following you. Misha? You're acting weird today. If you're
No, I'm not feeling down. As for clockwork, yeah, it resolves all problems in this dream. So, well, everyone gets lost at times. They may hesitate and doubt which way to go. But don't worry. Everyone, whether it's calming, joyful, angry, or sad, all they need is a little nudge to take that. I'm leaving that little nudge with you, and I hope you'll share it with others. Such is the essence of clockwork, the will of the Trailblaze. Clocky's hands spin around non-stop, indicating confusion, frustration, and weakness. But ultimately, people still need to move forward.
Just like your hands, always pointing ahead. This is where my journey ends. From now on, it is your path to walk.
Trailblazing means taking paths your predecessors forswore and venturing even further. The Penacony in Mikhail's dreams does not belong to order.
I can't believe that Eon would cast a glance at Penacony at a time like this. Is it because of the resonance from the legacy of the Trailblaze? Or perhaps the...
Well, there might be another possibility. Perhaps they want to witness, on behalf of the fallen Eons, who will hold the future of Penacony.
If that's the case, on behalf of the Dream Master of Penacony and the 107,336 members of the... I'm cordially inviting you all to the Penacony Grand Theater to participate in the upcoming Charmony Festival. And, of course, since the future of the Stellaron, Penacony, and even the entire cosmos is at stake, if you truly believe in Akavili's path, then show me their courage and determination.
We need a strategy. Please stay tuned. Time to test our rapport. Dreams do come true.
Do you admit this crime?
Still the same. Let's improvise. The mood is set just right. Let the show begin.
Ready for another?
That's all you got?
Take your positions.
Nice, I get my friends. Indulge yourselves!
By the order of execute the Marastruck!
Enemy data signet markers activated. Time for a good old counterattack.
Dreams do come true.
Does that mean he wants to fight us during the
I'm afraid so.
This is weird. Aren't ARC villains usually plotting some dirty
Well, in my opinion, I sensed a strong conviction and a desire for dominance. That's why he'll give it his...
Yeah, you're right. We've even dealt...
Anyway, we can't leave the Stellaron unchecked. This, now that we've taken up the mantle...
However, the same applies to the Order. A desire to dream. To slumber and escape reality. They've harnessed the will of an entire planet to create an eon.
What do you mean?
I believe Firefly is...
Before I left, the Destiny Slave told me that this journey would bring unforgiveness because one of the lines said...
3 times?
The first time was a painful death when I was stabbed by the Blade of Dormancy. So now I've understood the meaning of my second death. And I am prepared to face it. Only by achieving victory in this battle can we secure
the most terrible...
The true death.
We must do everything...
Have you?
Yes.
Thank you again for your assistance for the astral...
Yeah. I dreamed of a scorched earth.
Everyone, are you ready?
A new shoot sprouted from the earth. It bloomed in the morning sun and whispered to me. Like fireflies to a flame, life begets death. May we meet again in reality.
After today, Japella's name will disappear from Cosmic. That's your next stop.
Land of the Dream. You mean?
Silverwolf told me about it.
Well, I want to live. People die. And we.
Do you exist just...
Are you not the same, Blade? The end, if I were to die now, though its definition escapes me, isn't this the answer that ordinary tombstone that belongs to me once bore the inscription, Glamoth? It will bear the name.
That's quite unexpected, old man. I can sense that this false, sweet dream is coming to an end. It's a shame you won't be able to see it firsthand. Maybe I won't either. Yeah. Not just those nameless. Even Mr. Wings is just like you. Stubborn. But in the end, we managed to do it. And now, well, I don't know if they really... Then I'll be joining you soon. Let's get together and have supper again. Oh, here's to you. To the imperfect.
It's warm here, isn't it?
It's a shame, these bits.
Seriously? It become... Have you...
Before coming here, I stopped by a place called Orkron. It had barren cliffs and nights lit by bonfires. The flavor wasn't exactly sweet, but it left a lasting impression. When I think back on my path, don't worry about it. Losing oneself is a reality that every...
Well, congrats. By the way...
No, I had a companion in Orkron. She's a short, nameless girl who aspired... She...
Well...
Condolences. I don't need them. The girl left with a smile.
That's proof that you're...
Or...
afraid.
I'm afraid I'll forget the 30 days I spent with her. Just like all the other days in my life. I fear that those vivid red memories will fade away too.
Hard to imagine. A ranger...
Because I have experienced this warmth many times. As long as this red color still lingers, I have a chance to fulfill that promise. In the end, it will lead me beyond.
The one blessed by the... But you're right about one thing. After...
When will this rain?
Perhaps...
Have you heard of a planet named Biari Scamandros, Don Hung? It's half an Amber Era ago. The family held an unprecedented...
Do you think the same thing will...
Yes. Or... how else can we explain it?
Because of the nihility, I'm rarely affected by the power of other paths. But somehow...
I would disagree. Biari Scamandros is not part of the credit system or connected to the Silver Rail. It's not... If the family messes with Penacony, that would be like declaring war on almost half of the
No, they don't.
What do you mean?
The path in Penacony is impure. The harmony here...
Do you remember the ancient swarm disaster? Tazerond, the two paths lost their eons in that war. The propagation...
Shipe, the harmony. Legend has it that they participated in the crusade against the Imperator Insectorum, and devoured...
Holy forgaroni. So you're saying that the two...
But I don't see any descendants of the propagation in Penacony. Could it be...
I can't say for sure, but they're definitely...
Holy wobble-boo. Now, this is getting way too complicated. Is this why you want us to leave Astana right away?
The Charmony Festival will start soon. There's one thing...
Time is running out. I have another plan.
Hold on.
Exactly. The assistance from the lawful...
Think it over.
I have considered it thoroughly. My companions are...
Are you the only one here, my child? The Nameless is quite the diplomat. Our secrets have spread like wildfire within the family. An eyepiece. This is a crucial moment for us. So, where is the Chosen?
What do you mean, Master? I'm right here in front of you, aren't I?
You know, she was supposed to be the star of the Charmony Festival.
But the plan has changed. As her brother, I know she doesn't want to sing for the Order. So I'll take her place.
You've always been wise beyond your years. I'm sure you understand the consequences of your choice.
If you consider this a betrayal, well, there can't be two suns in the sky.
Do you believe?
If karma exists, then everyone has their own karma. You have yours, and I have... And my karma has nothing to do with you.
All right. Since you're willing to sacrifice yourself for her, I'll grant your wish.
Well, the compromise came sooner than...
You and your sister were born as twins of the Order. Of course. The opening is near. Go, my child. Seize the power of the harmony. And
I have one final question. Why did you choose to bring the Order to Penacony? Wouldn't it have been better to choose a desperate world instead of a city filled with hope and dreams?
It's for justice. If we lose justice in our hearts, we'll make the same.
So, it's not you who manipulates the dreamscape with the Stellaron, but...
Well, that's where our conversation ends. Go ahead. The 107,000...
I shall ascend, bathed in my light. My people shall flourish, while all evil shall be eradicated.
This is the interior.
It's quite exhilarating to be flushed into the air.
And not only that, the entire theater. Even if we're late, let's explore around.